whenever there's a question as to anything having to do with the assessment being appropriate. Okay, so if you read an assessment and you're like, what? This is not my child. My child doesn't do this, or my child does do that, and they're saying he doesn't. If that's the case, or your child has autism and they're doing a triennial 3-year reassessment and they're not assessing for autism. Those are the kinds of things that you look at, and if you really feel like the assessment is not appropriate because it's not appropriately reflecting what your child's present levels of performance are, then you can request an IEE, individualized educational evaluation, and that can be at public expense. What the law says is if you as a parent request an IEE at public expense, the school district has to do one of two things. They either have to agree to do the IEE, or they have to file for due process against the parent to defend their assessment. And it used to be that very few school districts would file against parents, but I'm seeing it happen more and more, especially if it's something that's not real obviously wrong with the assessment. So when the school district says they're going to file for against the parent, oftentimes I have the parent just withdraw their request for an IEE, because what happens is if they go to due process against you, and then you have to essentially hire your own expert to do an assessment to counteract why their assessment's not appropriate. So it becomes very costly for families. But if you win in a hearing showing that their assessment is not appropriate, then you get reimbursed for your out-of-pocket cost for that assessor to do that assessment. But that's a really difficult way of going about doing things. So then oftentimes I'll ask the client to withdraw their request. Then the district no longer has a basis for filing for due process.